On PM Express tonight, the politics of infrastructure. On the back of what we saw yesterday by the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, we're trying to break down for you what the essential parts of yesterday's presentation is. If you missed it, there is a chunk of information that is very possible that you simply lost track of what is important. Here on PMX, we're going to break it down for you what the essential ones are. Do some comparisons with the NPP manifesto in terms of infrastructure and what they're saying now that they've delivered almost 4 years in government. And then go into some real hard analysis with my guest who's joining me here on PMX. So stay with me. Let's start with a few numbers that are important for us to pay attention to. Now, this here is a global breakdown of the key aspects of infrastructure that the Vice President laid out yesterday. And if you look at the bottom numbers here, you find the global figures. So in total, the NPP says that they are either delivered or still ongoing and about to deliver some 17,304 projects in all across the country. Now, some interesting projects to focus on, for example, we know road infrastructure is key for a lot of people. And you see road infrastructure where they, for example, say they've completed some 1,307 road projects across the country. Now, the thing about the government website that has been set up to track and report on these projects is that everywhere you are, every constituency, you can simply go in there, type in the region, your assembly, and the type of project, and you will find, for example, if you're looking for roads, you will find specific roads that they claim they've completed under 1307, and also look at its possible actual location on the website. So it is a pretty interesting website to sort of engage with. I invite you to go there and check it out yourself. But that is a very interesting number of road infrastructure they claim they've done, and they say they have ongoing of 620. The question with the ongoing is, what exactly is ongoing? At what stage is it? Is it at the stage of just cut a sword and nothing has begun? Or this is something that has actually begun and project and machines are on the site working? That is something that we need clarity to, as far as that is concerned. And so they're talking about a total of what, 1,900 roads across the country that they are undertaking currently. Listen, wherever you are, you know, you feel it. So I wanted to get in touch with us and let us know as well. If you look at health, for example, government says they've completed some 378 projects across the country, and they are currently in the process of finishing some 285 projects. I mean, so that's a wide range of things that they said they've done. But let's do a further breakdown of these numbers for you. Let's do some comparison. Because, you know, the NPP came into power on the back of a manifesto, right? And so it's interesting to look at what the manifesto said in terms of pure numbers of the infrastructure projects. And this is purely infrastructure projects that we found in the 2016 manifesto. They made, in fact, the 45 projects you see here, total infrastructure promises, is according to the government itself. And this is just as recent as February, when they did the last results fair and updated us at the town hall. They told us that they made 45 promises when it comes to infrastructure, and that they have delivered only 5. And so if you look at this, many will say that is a failure when it comes to infrastructure, right? Fast forward to 6 months down the line in August. Now, government is saying they are now either delivered or delivering more than 17,000 projects. That tells you its own story, does it not? I mean, compared to what they themselves said they promised, 45 infrastructure, now they're delivering 17,000. Some may say it's unbelievable, but something that we need to check what these actually entail. let's talk about Imani, because Imani has also been tracking, right? And when they also brought theirs out, they counted 58 projects, not 45. And they also put the number of delivered at 19. And they scored government, and government sort of fought this figure. Remember, the president challenged it and said he had his own marking figure and put it out there, more than 70%. Imani scored government on infrastructure at 46.44%. That is also just before February, when this became pretty controversial. What did Imani conclude? The Imani actually concluded very favorably to the MPP that the MPP had done more in infrastructure than they actually claimed. This was back in February, right? This was way before February. Does it mean when Imani said this, was Imani referring to the 17,000 that the government now talks about when they talk about 17,000 projects? I mean, of course, 17,000 as against 45 is so huge. A lot still needs to be looked at in terms of that. I want to quickly look at this picture for you. This is the most controversial politically for the MPP, but also for the NDC as well, right? This is about interchange across the country. According to Tabaumia yesterday, look at these 4 interchanges here. This is the Tema motorway interchange. This is the Tamale interchange. You must have used the motorway interchange. This is the Obechabi Lamte interchange, and this here is the Pokwase interchange. And so if you see the pictures, you see the Tema motorway. You know, if you've driven on it before, you see the Tamale interchange. Those in Tamale who are watching us tonight, you know what it looks like. According to Dr. Baumia, all four of these, if you put the figure together, cost, it is $289 million, right? For 4 interchanges across the country. Dr. Baumia claims that for the cost of just 1 interchange here at Circle, which the NDC government under John Mahama built, that 1 interchange was $260 million. 1. And yet, according to the Dr. Baumia, they used $289 million to build 4 interchanges. That is Dr. Baumia suggesting that the cost of 1 interchange at Circle was bloated. And that is the only reason why the government was able to use a similar amount to build 4 interchanges, right? This is a very controversial one. And thankfully, we have the former roads minister here with us in the studio to interrogate these claims made by Dr. Baumia. I want to quickly run through this, and let's look at railways infrastructure, which is something that the government has also talked about. So 6 projects in all, 3 currently being done, ongoing, and 3 completed as well. If you look at One Village, One Dam, this is also called controversial. We sent our reporters across the regions up north, and they found that some of them have been completed but have defects that the communities are complaining about still. If you look at industrial infrastructure, where we have 1 district, 1 factory, this is an update, a total of 189 projects with 76 completed, 113 still ongoing. And then you have education infrastructure, and that key place for this MPP government because of 1 district, because of the free SHS policy. When I return from the break, we're going to be analyzing this with my guests, as I've already told you about. Stay with us, because there's a lot of digging that still needs to be done in terms of comparing the records. This is an interesting debate you don't want to miss. Stay with me. Mr. Inusa Fuseni is my guest in the studio. He's a former roads minister under the John Mahama administration. Later, we'll speak to the political scientist with the University of Ghana Political Science Department, Dr. Isaac Owusu Mensah. I mean, this is, after all, the politics of infrastructure. Let's start with the controversial claims made by Dr. Bawumia about the circle interchange. You were the minister when the circle interchange was done?
I came to meet it.
You came to meet it, okay. So you supervise the completion and commissioning?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you are the right person then to ask this question. The evidence is here, and I would like my producers to put this on the screen, the evidence of the interchange. Dr. Bawumia yesterday says that your interchange at Circle cost us $260 million. One interchange, two-tier. Was it two-tier?
The interchange was, yes, two-tier.
Two-tier. 260 million. However, under this government, they've done 4 interchanges, or are doing 4 interchanges, at the total cost of $286 million. In fact, one of the interchanges is 4-tier at Pokwase. This clearly shows, according to Dr. Bawumia, that your project was bloated.
Thank you so very much for this opportunity to appear on your program and to deal with this raging controversial issue that has been made, an assertion made by Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. I have said that probably Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has now gotten a first class in propaganda from the University of Telling Lies. Every project has a scope, and the scope of the project and where the project is carried out determines the cost of the project. Now, so if you are building a house at East Legon, if a 3-bedroom house at East Legon, the same design or a similar design at Kaswa, you don't expect the cost to be the same. First, locational differences. 2, the land values. 3, the physical conditions of the land. And so many factors go into the determining what it will cost you to build a house. And I'm sure Dr. Bawumia knows that. You know Circle interchange. Circle, you know Circle. Circle is a marshy ground, was waterlogged. The Odo River passes through Circle. To build Circle, 40,000 meters of piles were sunk into the ground. 40,000. That I, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, will not see. 40,000. Now, that 40,000 was cost that was sunk to the ground to reach a firm substructure for the bridge to stand on. Or if you want, 40 kilometers of piles in the ground. Pokwase interchange, 7,000 piles. Obitiri Lamte interchange, no piles. It's going to be a pad foundation. You know, like you're going to build a house, then you dig a square hole, and then you do the pad, then you put it there.
How is that? I bet you be and the second one are pretty close, and they seem to be sitting on the same.
Well, I'm just telling you why the costs, they are differential.
I'm just curious because you emphasize on the piles being sunk.
Yes.
But those 2 projects seem to sit on the same geographical landmass.
Yes. So
with the same similar structure.
The geodetic engineer and the geological survey in that area clearly shows that pad can support the bridge. Okay. So the cost will be different. Now, the total length of the Kwame Nkrumah interchange is the bridge at Akasanuma, that is coming from Nsawam towards PTC, is 171 meters. The bridge going towards Nsawam is 171 meters. Now, you have so the total is 342 meters.
Okay.
The width of the bridge is 9 meters. The width is 9 meters. Now the ramps, you have 350 meters of ramp. 350. Then you have a bridge over the Odo River on the Ring Road. You have a bridge over it. Now, and you know that bridge, that bridge that almost collapsed. It had to be refixed. Then there's a second bridge. So the two bridges, two-way. The span, the meter, 36 meters each. The width, 14 meters and 16 meters. Now, there is a third bridge from the new plant to the Odo terminal. There's a third bridge there, and that is 35 meters. The width, 8 meters. Now, so the description, the first bridges, you have the bridge, you have the ramp up, you have the ramp down, you have the ramp approaches, and the loop. Now, let me tell you the total length of the two bridges, all the bridges combined, that with the first phase, that is on the flyover, the first phase, or the second phase, is 947 meters.
So this is the second phase you're talking about?
Yes. The first phase,
interchange.
The first phase, that is the phase one, that's composite steel. Both flyovers are composite steel, not concrete, composite steel. Now, so the second phase is 947 meters. It's 24. That is the only interchange in Ghana. That is 3-lane. 3. All the other interchanges are 2 lanes. So your circle interchange has 3 lanes. The ramp up is 98 meters. The ramp down is 100 meters. The ramp downs are 9 meters, 9 meters. And the approaches 300 meters and 24. So 3-way, 3-way. Now you have loops around the interchange, 290 meters. And they merge at 50 meters. All with 9 meters, 9 meters. Now, the Kwame Nkrumah interchange, I already told you, has a 40-kilometer per ramping sunk into the ground. 40,000, that is 40 kilometer per sunk into the ground. It has two main terminals at the former Odo and New Plan stations. You know the Odo before the Trotro, where we used to take Trotro to connection and Odoko, Dakuma, and the Willowbrook buses. You know how that place was. If you go there today, it's not so. It's part of the contract. The redevelopment of the station, Trotro station. Now, you have also the New Plan station, where we used to take buses to Kumasi, Sawa and Koko.
Was it refurbished as part of the project?
Redeveloped, not refurbished, redeveloped. And if you go there today, you see a 2-story standing there.
So you built it for them as part of the project?
We built it for GPRTU. Let me tell you why they are different. The Obichibi-Lamte interchange, first of all, it's me, as minister, who moved the motion in Parliament for the Obichibi-Lamte interchange.
At what cost then?
The first phase was 35 million. It was, was it 35? 17 was 17.
Dr. Banya puts it a total cost.
No, 1722. I'm coming, I want to demonstrate something to you. 1722. The total of the two was 98 million. So it was 98, that's 37, or 30, yes, 37 plus 62 or so, the total. So it gave us, when I went to Parliament, but I moved the motion for the phase one, which was about 35 million or so, 35 million. Now, the second phase, by the motion I moved in Parliament, was to cost this country 63 million.
Only the second phase.
The second phase, only the second phase. The first phase, 35. The second phase, 63 million.
Yeah.
Now, the second phase, we didn't secure funding for the second phase. We secured funding for the first phase. Now, MPP has secured funding for the second phase at 87 million euro.
There was the evidence of that.
Oh, the evidence is here. I should be able to open my...
But
at 87 million
you say at your time, your estimate was...
63. The total cost of the project. The total cost of the project.
The total cost of the project.
Phase 1 and phase 2.
Was what?
$98 million.
Because they put phase 1 at 58 million.
No. Phase 1 was 35.
No, I mean, I'm saying that, well, Dr. Bamia yesterday put phase 1.
Again?
2-tier concrete. No, sorry. This is the Obechebi. The Obechebi.
Yeah, I mean the Obechebi.
Sorry, the Obechebi Lamte, phase 1 composite steel, 35.
Obechebi Lamte is not composite steel.
Well,
it's composite. It's composite.
Yes, composite.
Yeah, composite. Yes.
At 35 million.
Yes, 35. That's what we secured. 35 million.
Okay.
And that's what we're going to use.
And you said phase 2 was what?
63 million.
63 million.
63 million.
Okay.
The total cost of the project. And it's here. I can show you. I can show you.
I would like to see it.
I can show you. It's here.
Because Dr. Bawumia...
Motion for the adoption of approval of a loan.
Let me see this.
Okay, you can read it. You can read it.
Okay. So
that's the motion
for the adoption
and
approval of a loan for commercial contract agreement between the government of Ghana, represented by the Ministry of Roads and Highways, which is you were there, and Aquarius Garval Construction, Spain, for the implementation of the Obechebi Lamte Interchange project and related works. Phase 1.
Phase 1.
At the cost of 35 million, which is exactly what they've quoted here.
Good.
Okay.
Turn back and say phase 2.
Okay, so estimated total cost of the project is 98 million. So, which means that if you subtract the 35 from 98...
The breakdown is behind.
Okay, so you get here 63 million.
Yes.
63 million for phase 2.
$63 million.
Yes. For phase 2.
Yes.
Okay, and this is dated, this is when? This is, what date is this?
This is an extract from Parliament.
Yes, but which year was this? Which year?
This is 2016, around November or so.
2016?
Yes.
Okay. The current government puts the second phase at 100 million.
Okay. Probably they've converted
100 million.
They've converted the 80. They went to cabinet with a cabinet memo. And I was just trying to open my computer to show you. They went to cabinet with a memo for 87 or 89 million euro for the second phase. Okay,
so I mean, so if you do the euros into dollars,
probably that's why they got 100.
$100 million.
So
and your point is what?
100 plus 35.
Yes. So that's 135 for the entire project.
Good. And this was going to do it at how much?
You were going to do the total at 98 million.
And they say that there is value for money. That we were not interested. You see Bawumia's logic. No, let me finish.
Okay.
You see Bawumia's logic? No. We were going to do this project, the first phase and the second phase, at $98 million.
But there are factors that will account for this. So the difference in the cost is quite significant, actually, because you're looking
at... The difference in the cost is the second phase.
I get it. 35 million total. If you subtract from yours, that is almost what? So that's...
It's 100 million.
Yes, I mean in the second phase.
The second phase is 63. So if you subtract 63 from 100 million, you get 37.
But the question is, Mr.
37 million has been added to the project.
That's why I asked when. This was in 2016. 4 years on, definitely, you don't expect the cost to be the same.
Oh, I say, 3 years on, you don't expect the cost to be the same. 3 years earlier, we had secured $35 million.
No, but you didn't secure 90. That is
no, wait. Oh, I mean, if there's shaver, you don't rub your hair. You get cut. 3 years ago, we had secured $35 million for the first phase. Has it changed here?
It hasn't changed.
When was the project started?
The project was started, well, the president cut off for this. It must have been last year.
Last year?
Yes.
Last year was not part of the factors which could change the price?
No, but Mr. Fuseni, your point actually makes the case of the MPP. You say you secure 35 million. You secured 35 million in 2016, correct?
Yes.
Okay. But you did not secure the 63 million.
Yes.
They had to come and secure it under different terms, obviously.
Is that what you are saying?
No, but different because
that's
time,
what you are saying to me.
If you had secured, if at the time you did a cost,
that's what you're telling me.
But construction, time factor is important.
Look at the scope of works. Please. Look at the scope of works. What were we to do?
I mean, what has the scope of work got to do with it?
The scope of works shows you how much you will need for the project.
Yes, but
you don't just go to your.
I said that you expected this amount to remain fixed.
Yes.
In 2016.
But were we quoting them? I mean, is it in cities?
No, but it's in dollars. But of course, I mean, yeah.
So you think that the depreciation or the fluctuation in the dollar can accumulate a 37 million difference?
I'm talking about project costs.
You're not talking about CDO.
No, I know, but you're talking about project costs. You know, when if you built last year, you want to build this year and securing funds for it, costs will change. Your estimate for last year will definitely be the same as the cost for this year.
Significantly by 37 million? That's what you are suggesting?
Why is that not possible?
It's not possible. You are not going to invest 63 million in any bank and get a 37 million profit over a period of 3 years. You are not going to do that. No, you're not going to get that. So why do you think that if you invest 63 million in 3 years' time, you should get 100 million? What do you think that?
Do you at least admit that the 63 million that you estimated it at 2016 wouldn't be the same?
I don't. In the first place, I don't.
You actually insist that if you're doing this 2 years later, you still have to.
I actually insist that if we were doing it, we'll do it by 63 million, because the 35 million that we got is what they are using to implement the first phase.
Yes, but that was
and
secure.
3 years and
you locked that in.
Well, so when you lock funds in, it doesn't suffer from depreciation. Is that what you're suggesting? Is that what you're suggesting? When you lock funds in, all the elements, economic elements, affect it. You go and put your CD in the bank, and the CD is falling like dry winds in the Hamatan. You think that because you put your money in the bank in the fixed deposit, the value is not affected? Is that what you're saying?
No, but here's the question, Mr. Nusa Fusini. If your argument is that the second phase has been bloated, is that your argument?
I'm saying that in the second phase, they are securing 98 million for the second phase.
Are you making an argument that
89 million euro for the second phase? They've converted it here. The cabinet memo actually to cabinet was in euro, not in dollars.
Okay, so they've done the conversion. I mean,
I don't know.
That's a big
saying that the cabinet memo they sent to the Flagstaff House was in euro.
Are you suggesting?
So you mean that if they got the money in euro and the dollar, the exchange rate between the dollar and the euro appreciates in favor of the euro, you will still have 100 million?
Okay, but your argument is that, so what? The second phase is bloated.
I say that if you argue on value for money, then you have to re-examine yourself. That if a government was going to construct the second phase of the Ubichebi Lamte interchange at 63 million.
In 2016.
In 2016.
Yes.
And that same government in 2016 found 35 million for the first phase. With 35 million you are using. That 25 million has not been affected by anything.
Now, but if that is your argument, and the second phase is even more than what you estimated, how come still they put 4 of these interchanges together in spite of the bloatedness? Question. In spite of the bloatedness of the second phase of the and still manage. My question. This is important. And still manage to finish these or put money aside for these 4 projects. That was for 4 projects. That was very close to one project that you.
I've just told you. What are you thinking? What pile are you,
because of the
let me talk now.
Sure.
What pile are you thinking at Obichibi? What pile are you thinking there?
You said no pile.
No pile. And don't you know that if you sink 40 kilometers of pile, that's cost?
But is that
if you go to Circle Interchange now, will you see pile?
True. But no matter how much pile you sink, to think that one interchange, just 2 tier, will be more than 4 interchange together, where one is 4 tier.
Well, I'm not.
It's such an incredible.
That's pedantic. Your argument is very pedantic.
It's a question I'm asking.
No, it's very pedantic. The construction of an interchange or a construction of a facility depends on the nature of the soil, in the case of roads, the terrain, the material, you will see that it's the same contractor. It's the same contractor, the same technology that he's going to use to construct Obichibilamte, which he used to construct Circle Interchange. The same contractor. The same contractor evaluated with the Ministry of Roads and Highways the cost to completion of Obichibi, as he evaluated the cost to completion of Circle Interchange. The only change, the only thing that has changed is that the government of the NDC has given way to the government of the MPP. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed by design. Nothing has changed by location. The only change is an MPP. The second change is that the second phase will be expensive under the MPP.
And yet they can do it for less.
And I say that, so you ask yourself, under what circumstances can the same contractor do two projects of a similar nature, and one project is said not to have value for money? Under what circumstances? It can only happen when there's a change in government. That the succeeding government can accuse its predecessor of
because he believes that.
Second thing, let me
under your administration there was no value for money in the climate comment.
You should go and ask the Institute of Engineers. When the project was being executed, Mr. Lincoln Kwashi, then head of the Institute of Engineers in Ghana, visited the project. You should go and read his comments. Said the project, the quality of the project could be vouched for, and the value was apt. Lincoln. You see, when you have people whose personal idiosyncrasies depend on where they sleep in the night, they think that a project is implemented just by going to take money from under your bed and implementing it. It's not so. No project in this country is implemented without, first of all, identify the heads of activities that would be undertaken under the project, costing the heads of activities and aggregating same to give you an indication of how much you will need to do that.
Let's talk about the Pokwase.
You talk about Tamil Interchange. They say that Tamil Interchange is what?
35 million.
35 million is the initial EPC contract price. The revised contract price of Tamil Interchange is 47,671,258.
Dated when? This is cost over what? Is it your time, or this is something that was the Parliament recently?
Oh, my brother.
So this is an
I've told you, if they're shaving you, don't rub your head.
So
Tamil Interchange is being implemented under the Sano Hydro deal.
So this is purely under this current government.
I say that the figure that Baumia has given is wrong.
Because this document is what?
From the Ministry of Roads and Highways. From the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
Where is the Tamil Interchange project?
That Lot 3.
Lot 3.
Yes.
And I see here, what? This isn't 35 million.
Yes, the second one, revised EPC is how much?
That's revised EPC 47.
47 million represents 85% of the project cost. Look there, you will see.
So safe to say he was quoting the EPC contract amount.
What's EPC? The revised, so he decided that he wouldn't deal with the revised EPC amount. That amount of money that he would need to do the project at 85% cost. Even the 35 million represents 85% cost of the project. This can only be coming from a disingenuous person. $35 million for the Tamil Interchange represents 85% of the project cost. So how can you compare? How can you do that?
I want to take a break. When I return, I want to bring in Dr. Bugu, but I want also to talk about Pokwase Interchange.
Yes, I will talk about it.
Because the Pokwase Interchange, as you may well know, under the watch of Mr. Nusa Fuseni, was a 3-tier. This government had negotiated it into a 4-tier at the same cost. How is that? Stay with me. also joining me on Zoom right now is Dr. Isaac Owusu. I'll bring him shortly. He's a senior lecturer, Department of Political Science, University of Ghana. Still with me is the former roads minister in the previous administration, Mr. Yunusa Fuseni. Mr. Fuseni, let's wrap up this road conversation on the Pokwase interchange.
Yes.
The Pokwase interchange, you had negotiated it at, according to Dr. Bawumia, $65 million for a three-tier. This government had managed to renegotiate that and added one tier at that same cost.
First of all, I don't know what the government means by renegotiating. The project design and conception was concluded and the project evaluated by the African Development Bank and came to the conclusion that we needed 60, I'm going to get the amount for you. We needed that amount of money to be able to do the project. Now, when a project is evaluated and the amount of money for the execution of project is established and tenders are issued for the construction or the execution of the project, and a substantial variation of the project will require a retendering for the project. We require a retendering of the project. I have looked at the Pokwase interchange, and it's strange.
What is strange about it?
The Pokwase interchange is here. It's also concrete. It's not reinforced steel. It's concrete. It's not composite steel. Now, it has a top tier, a third tier, a second tier, a top tier, a third tier, and a second tier. So how many tiers?
How many tiers is that? Top tier, it says three tiers.
They say it's 4 tiers.
Yes, but they have negotiated it in the one more tier too.
That this is from the minister.
This is what you negotiated.
Oh no, this is from the Ministry of Roads and Highways.
Yeah.
And the total, the works on the project, the Pokwase interchange, and the total cost of the project is 64 million.
Yeah, this year is 60.
The top tier has a length of 495.5 meters.
Yeah, I get those subsidies, but do you agree that yours was three tier?
Well,
What
I'm
you
saying
negotiated,
that
what you conceptualized.
I'm saying that by the document from the Ministry of Roads and Highways, there is a top tier. There's a ramp A and ramp B on the third tier. There's a ramp a C, and a ramp D on the second tier. And when you add the tiers, when you take the top tier, the second tier, and the third tier.
Yeah, I mean, but that is not speaking.
And I'm telling you that, so I don't actually understand Bawumia when he says they renegotiate. And I'm saying again, as a matter of fact,
the contractor,
and a matter of law, law of construction.
That if they renegotiate,
that if you change the design of a project substantially and changing to add a tier, it's a substantial redesign of the project, because you will need pillars.
But the cost was same.
Well, Dr. Bawumia is saying so. And I'm saying that I'm holding a document from the Ministry of Roads and Highways. And that document doesn't recite 4 tier. And I'm saying that I'm convinced that this document is the proper document from the ministry.
Are you doubting that it's 4 tier?
I doubt everything that Bawumia says.
But the contractor is on record to have said they're building 4 tiers.
Well, the contractor is on record to have said they are building 4 tiers.
And the cost hasn't changed.
Have you seen the design?
Well, I have no reason to doubt the contractor.
No, have you seen the design? But you're a Ghanaian. I
haven't seen the design.
I thought that you were exhorted to be a citizen, not a spectator.
I haven't seen the design. Let's beyond the roads, though. I mean, as Mr. Yunusa Fuseni and I have been talking about, and as I presented earlier, the government lays out far more than just that. They talked about health infrastructure. I mean, a total of more than 17,000 projects across the country that they delivered more than 8,000 of those.
I've actually seen toilets, 6-seater toilets,
yes,
as part of the delivery.
Yeah, are you belittling the impact of that in those communities?
I built 3 in my constituency.
Yeah,
I should qualify for the president of this country.
No, but that is...
I built 3. It never made it to the Green Book. It never. 3 toilets. One at Dohanayele, one at Salamba, and the other at Lamakara. I'm mentioning the places. It never made it to the Green Book. I built I converted a day nursery into a 1-story junior secondary school. It never made it to the Green Book.
What the government said they've done was simply to account to the people.
In fact,
I want to bring in Dr. Isaac Owusu-Mensah on this. Doc, thank you for your time and thank you for patiently staying with me. This conversation and debate over infrastructure is one that, of course, has become a political football. Do you think that how important is this particular conversation in shifting the outcomes in an election, for example, such that the government is investing a lot of effort in trying to prove to people that they've done infrastructure? The NDC did the same with the Green Book. How important is it? Because this is all about the end game. Does it account? Does it play a factor? And how significant?
Thank you very much. Governance is a continuous process. And as you know, the definition of democracy is a system of governance where rulers are held accountable for their actions and inaction. Now, if rulers are held accountable for their action and inaction, you have been given a mandate to rule the people of Ghana for 4 years. What have you been able to do? And what have you not been able to do for to improve the quality of life of the people at the end of the day? And therefore, it's extremely important that the government accounts to the people what they have done to improve the quality of life of the people at the end of the day. I'm very happy that this program is taking place now because, as you know, we've been doing research about 1 year of the government, 2 years of the government, 3 years of the government. And one of the very important things that emerged in 2019 research that we did, we asked the people give us 3 most important factors that will influence your vote if elections were held today. That was December 2019. And road appeared to be a key element that affected the life of the people, that improved the quality of the people at the time. I'm also happy to say that Afrobarometer came to confirm what we had come up earlier on. Consequently, showing us the road that has been done and the roads that have not been done goes a long way in determining the choice that people will make at the end of the day. As I speak with you now, Olga, I have the opportunity to go to Kulungungu this afternoon. And when we were going, we used the same Boku road that was there in 2016 and is there now. And you realize that there's significant improvement in terms of the quality of the road that we use and also quality of time that we wasted on the road that we have wasted in 2016 and now. And therefore, if you live around this area, these very important elements, it will really affect you in determining the choices that you make in December. I'm happy that the honorable member is there and also trying to help us understand some of this issue about the interchange. I think that this is very important because we remember very well that when we had the Green Book in 2016, there were a lot of issues in Western region about some hospitals that have been constructed and people came to dispute it. But now that this is coming up, I think that we expect as a political scientist, different people from different parts of this country in different communities and districts that the roads or whatever infrastructure that it has been listed against their communities will come out and say, yes, he has mentioned this, but it's not there, or he has mentioned this, it is there. So at the end of the day, it improves the quality of life of the people. But whether we like it or not, this infrastructure is visible items that people look up to. But it's important to also mention that when you construct huge projects, either in the big cities or in the smaller communities, what is the importance of the infrastructure to the life of the people? Do the people resonate with the projects that you have done. This is very important. You know very well that projects that were very expensive that the previous government undertook, Circle was one of them, Kaswa was one of them, the University of Ghana Medical Center was one of them. But interestingly, NDC had won 2012 in Collect Clote in Kaswa as well. But in the 2016, in spite of this huge project that has been done, the government lost in this area. So the projects are very important, but they must resonate with the people that are in the community that the projects are being constructed at the end of the day.
So on that point, what do you make of the argument that Inusa Fuseni has made, for example, almost poo-pooing the toilets infrastructure that the government had?
No. I'm not poo-pooing toilet infrastructure.
Well, you said
I'm not.
You said that it's not.
I delivered 3 to a constituency. How can I poo-poo it?
No, but
I'm saying that the toilets are built. No. Listen to me. I'm saying that the 3 toilets are built in my constituency did not make it to the Green Book.
Yeah, but
because it was just mundane. And they were mundane achievement.
No.
They're not signature projects.
But the government has not said a signature achievement.
Yes, so I'm
the government is simply telling you what they've done where.
I'm saying that by the standard of the MPP, I should be president.
Okay, let me get Doctor, what's your comment on that? That it's not something that the government should be trumpeting as part of its achievements in 17,000 projects they claim they've done.
Boho, I did 2 in my constituency.
Dr. Isaac Owusu-Mensah, what do you say to this view on this? Okay, his Zoom to us is frozen. Let's see if we can get him back to comment on this. But Inusa Fuseni, your point.
You remember Changli Mahebi? I did 2 water systems. Never made it even to my accountant report. 2 water systems.
Do you at least acknowledge that your approach?
The number of classrooms are added in
your approach was different from what the MPP's approach is.
I'm saying that
your approach was to look at the big ticket items in the Green Book. Government says, I'm simply telling you in your community where you can find projects that we've done. That's a different approach.
I agree with you. It's a different approach. And I'm telling you that if that approach were used by the NDC, we wouldn't have found space in the Green Book to contain those projects.
Okay. Okay, I saw Dr. Isaac is back, his Zoom is working now. Let me get a quick comment on him on that point. Doc, your quick comment on that point that Nusa had made. Okay. Mr. Nusa Fuseni, let me ask you this.
I did not hear you. I'm back now.
Okay.
Hello, I'm back.
Mr. Inusa Fuseni, very quickly, because I just ran up the time in 60 seconds. Mr. Inusa Fuseni says, putting projects like toilets and boreholes as part of a government achievement, it's, let me use the word, it's mundane. You agree?
I'm very sorry that Honorable may have lost touch with the people, maybe because he's not contesting again. So, but if you go to the communities, toilet is of high value to the people at the end of the day. So
I'm not saying there's not of value.
The quantum or the gargantuan nature of the project does not really relate well with the people, but it depends on the value that the people attach to the project at the end of the day. So whether it is a huge million project or it's a 1 city project, depending on the value of that the people in the community attach to it, that will let the people say that it's improving their quality of life or it's not improving the quality of life of the people. We have the Circle Interchange that costs us 270 million. There are some.
It didn't cost us 270 million. Are you also adding to it? Are you also adding to the Circle Interchange?
Gentlemen, I want to say thank you very much for joining me. This is a conversation that will definitely continue. I'm grateful that you joined me. Mr. Inusa Fuseni, thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.